What's up, everybody? It's Priyon Joni. So today we're going to start a new video series called
Audio Cables for Beginners.
The reason I'm doing this series is because I still come across some DJs and musicians that don't know the difference between an XLR cable, an RCA, and a 1/4 inch. So for today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 most common audio cable types and show you what each one is used for. Today's video is brought to you by Direct Music Service. If you're a DJ or a mix artist and you're looking for one website to find all your music, DMS is the spot to be. Direct Music Service is a music database made for the working DJ or mix artist. Not only is it the one-stop spot to download all your music, but DMS also has this mobile app so that you can find and organize your music when you're on the go. Go to directmusicservice.com to sign up today. Now back to the video. So as I said, I'm going to be showing you guys the 3 basic audio cables that you're going to come across as a DJ or a musician. Okay, so cable number 1 is the RCA cable. You find these commonly with home audio components, like maybe a home stereo. You see them used with CDJs. Sometimes these are the type of wires that you see that you plug into your controller. A lot of times they come in pairs, but they're basically 2 single cables. Old VCRs and early DVD players used RCA. An RCA cable is an unbalanced cable. I'm going to do a whole video on the difference between balanced and unbalanced cables. But basically, in a nutshell, that means that inside this cable, there's 2 wires. One that carries the signal, and the other is the ground. Unbalanced cables like RCAs are great for short distances, like the short distance between a CDJ to the mixer. 3 to 4 feet is more than enough. In an RCA cable, what you usually see is the male end. On the components that it's plugging to, like the mixer or the instrument or CDJ that it's plugged to, that's known as the female end. The way you know is the female end is the hole, and the male end is the one that sticks out. Keep it clean, folks. So the second type of cable I'm going to show you guys is the XLR cable, and you might have seen one of these. Most commonly, an XLR cable has 2 different types of ends. There's a female end, and then there's a male end. The female end has the 3 holes. The male end has the 3 prongs. Unlike the RCA cable, there's actually 3 wires inside an XLR cable. An XLR cable is usually used for a balanced signal. When it has 3 wires in it, like an XLR cable does, you have the option to use a balanced connection. Like I said, we're going to talk about that in another video, but when you have a balanced connection, you can actually have longer running cables. XLRs are most common with microphones, but a lot of DJ gear like mixers and controllers with balanced outputs utilize 2 XLR outputs. Balanced connections usually give you more signal strength and less noise over longer distances. So whenever you can, use an XLR connection, whether it's out of your DJ controller or your DJ mixer, going to your speakers or the main mixing board. So these are XLR cables. Now the third cable I'm going to show you is the 1/4 inch cable, which looks like this. This is the male 1/4 inch cable. Usually 1/4 inch cables are male on both sides. This one is an L shape on this side, while the other end is straight, but they both can plug into a female 1/4 inch jack. Now there are 2 types of 1/4 inch cables. There's the TS, which is unbalanced, and then there's the TRS, which is balanced. The way you know is that a TS, which stands for tip sleeve, only has 1 black ring around it, while the TRS has 2 black rings around it. A TS cable is always unbalanced, and a TRS cable can be used both balanced and unbalanced. The unbalanced TS cable works a lot like the RCA cable. It's great for short distances. It's commonly found when you're using it with line level instruments, a keyboard's output, a guitar cable, or short distance connections between line level devices, like when using an effects loop on your mixer. Now, a TRS 1/4 inch cable can be used for a balanced signal, just like an XLR cable. Unlike the TS cable that only has 2 cables inside it, a signal carrier and a ground, a TRS cable is just like an XLR. It has 2 signal carriers and a ground, so you can get more distance from a TRS cable. Some devices have a balanced 1/4 inch output as opposed to a balanced XLR output. So a TRS cable might be needed. Now there's a third function you can do with a TRS cable. If you ever look at a pair of headphones, whether it's a 1/4-inch cable or the smaller 1/8-inch cable, you will always see that there's two rings. Now, unlike a balanced signal, which is mono, in the case of using it with headphones, the two signal carriers of a TRS cable can be used for the left and right channels of your headphones. Each of those channels are essentially unbalanced. A TRS cable can actually serve as two unbalanced signals as a stereo pair. Now, like I said, this is what a male 1/4-inch cable looks like, but there are female 1/4-inch cables at the end when you're doing extensions, like for headphones. This is the female, this is the male. The male goes inside the female jack. Now, as DJs, there's two other cables you might come across. And as I mentioned earlier, there's the 1/8-inch plug right here, which is a TRS plug, which is usually what you find at the end of your headphones. If your mixer or DJ controller doesn't have a 1/8-inch headphone jack, then you need to get an adapter to plug to one of these to convert it to 1/4-inch. An 1/8-inch is just a smaller version of the 1/4-inch. On a lot of higher end DJ headphones, you might have a detachable cable, and at the other end of it, you might see a mini XLR cable like this one. On a lot of Pioneer headphones, the detachable cable is mini XLR, and it's female at the end where you connect it to your headphones, which is a little backwards from what normal XLR is, but I believe that's just for security of the cable. But basically, the three most common you're going to come across is the RCA cable, the 1/4-inch cable, and the XLR. On the next video, we're going to talk about the difference between unbalanced cables and balanced cables, and we're going to elaborate more on the difference between the TS 1/4-inch cables versus the TRS 1/4-inch cables. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions or have anything to add, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts or answer any questions you guys might have. And if it's your first time here and you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that little subscribe button below. And don't forget to click that little bell icon so you get a notification the next time I upload a video. All right, it was fun. Thanks for watching.